Well, hello there and welcome to issue number 63, and this issue is all about the Pisces Rooster. As you can see on the caption beforehand, this video, those are the dates you have to be to fall into this Western and Eastern star sign combination. So let's have a look what we've got. On the one hand, we've got the Western, we've got the Pisces, which is dreamy, is full of wisdom, but ultimately it's very gentle and romantic and quite unorthodox in lots of its ways and lots of its approaches, because they seem otherworldly. They've got so much wisdom that they don't always go about it the way that, you know, some of the other Western signs do, but then again they have the knowledge and somehow the hidden knowledge, if you like, of how to get to where they want to go. And they can do it in an unorthodox way. That's just the way they click and they tick, and they're very successful at it. So what happens when it meets the Rooster? The Rooster being a very tough, resilient, durable, and quite aloof Eastern sign. So, you know, they seem real odds with each other. And nothing really manifests in the early days. If we go into the early preschool days and the junior school, you'll have a very happy-go-lucky, you know, cheery soul going to school. They won't have any violent tendencies. They will prefer physical activity rather than studies. That is a true matter there, because this can happen with the Pisces sometimes. They have all the knowledge they need, and they have it from young. You know, it's ingrained in them. You know how some kids don't really have to try. They know they're going to get there, and also they're not. It doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really fill their imagination with the studies. With stuff as involving like woodwork, metalwork, creation stuff, they're very much stimulating for this combination. And you'll find this happy-go-lucky child just floating along, having a laugh with their friends, not being disruptive at all, and just really, you know, not really taking life too seriously, and so they shouldn't at that young age. And when they get into the senior schools, and the high schools, and maybe the colleges, etc., then we see where the conflict will start to manifest. We will see a real change, a shift, if you like, where the Pisces, with all that wisdom and a little bit of durability and resilience that the Rooster's going to throw in there, become very easily led and very, well, not prone to being a bully at all, not in that sense. Won't get mixed up with the group that will maybe sort of bullying or you know, making life hard for others, more in the sense of that they won't be achieving what they should be achieving. They end up getting involved in silliness and going along with stuff that, you know, because they don't want to upset the other person, and they feel as though it's the easy life. And this becomes, you know, really contradictory with the Rooster, where, you know, they will stand their guns, they stick up for themselves, they're quite aloof. You know, they make good friends, but they're quite serious as well. They can have a great laugh, they've got a brilliant sense of humour, but they know, you know, they've got that bit of spine. And as we say, with the Pisces kicks into this mode, they become quite wishy-washy, dragged along, badly influenced. Some early relationships for the Pisces Rooster can be absolute catastrophes, where they've just gone along for the flow, they've gone in for the ride, not realising or thinking about how much they're going to get hurt, and really sometimes I find it very hard to recover from these dalliances for quite a long time. So they really have to be careful, because, you know, with this happy-go-lucky and this easy-led nature that they've built up, you know, they've got to realise that they're one of the most sensitive signs out there, and easily hurt, in the sense of, you know, if they don't guard their heart, guard their feelings, you know, they're going to feel pretty bad. And this is what they do. They just go with the flow, and this is, I don't know why. This happens all the way up, I would say, until the early 20s, even maybe the mid-20s, going from relationships, disaster, boom, and it's just you know, onlookers, family members, friends, they'll be berating them, or they'll be saying, you know, what on earth are you doing? Why, you know, get yourself together, this isn't you. Because they're capable of earning very good money. You know, they will work long and hard, they're very capable of that, but then they're very capable of just absolutely blowing it in one hit and turning around going, well, I didn't see that coming. Well, nobody sees it coming, only they know why they do it, and sometimes I don't even think they do. They tend to sort themselves out a bit when they get to the middle 20s, and this little bit of conflict has been going back and forth. They say, hold on a minute, I've got to get my stuff together, and they normally 99 times out of 100 pull through, and they pull through very well. As I said, the capacity to work long and hard. We keep them in the construction industry, the woodwork industry, metalwork, anything of that creative nature, plus they can put some, you know, real physical energy in there and sweat, and they like to toil and they like to achieve. This really does come through in the later 20s. As I say, not study freaks that have all the knowledge that they're going to need through the wonderful Pisces, you know, which is just ingrained in there. You know, how does the ant know it's going to be a workaround? Well, it just knows. You know, it's exactly the same for the Pisces. The Pisces got it all there. It doesn't really have to worry. So, you know, let's get them settled. And when they do get settled in that middle 20s, later 20s, they're a wonderful child to their parents and their grandparents, and they're a great sibling. They're very kind, you know, and all through their misdemeanours of going around in a tears and in a daze and infuriating everyone around them, they always try to be, you know, kind-hearted and endearing, and they normally pay back their parents a little bit later on with a lot of love, a lot of respect, and also, you know, they will look after them financially. You know, they're not shy of spending their money on their loved ones and their extended family, not at all. So let's hopefully they've gotten out of being used, and they settle in their mindset in. They've had a nice sort of run of 3 or 4 solid, uninterrupted years of not too much mayhem, and then we need to find them the right partner. Let's get them, as I say, early 30s, meeting that right partner, because the Rooster's capable of much devotion, as we spoke about. The Pisces, okay, a bit, as we say, in the early days, but prone to being absolutely loyal as well. So that devotion is there, and they're just waiting for that partner, and that partner is going to be in the snakes. You know, they must go with the snakes, because where the snake, okay, we've talked about, occasionally can be promiscuous, they love to conquer, they love the thrill of the chase, but they really will respect the Rooster and the values and the uprightness, and with the dreaminess of the Pisces in there, makes for a lovely romance between these two, and very endearing love affairs will be very sentimental, and you know, they won't stay angry at each other for long, because there'll be a song, or they'll just go off for that walk, and you know, and they'll soon get back on track. They may argue for half an hour maybe, but it's very rare, because they're very in tune mentally, and also where they want to go. They want security. They both want security, really. And as I said about the snakes, you know, when they've been maybe promiscuous, it's not out of, you know, other than just testing their strengths of seduction. With the Rooster, they will have to keep on their toes, because, you know, the Rooster can look uninterested sometimes, and, you know, and the snake likes this challenge. So it's a wonderful, wonderful match. So if we look for the Capricorn snakes, Scorpio snakes, the Cancerian snakes, and also the Taurian snakes, they're just wonderful, wonderful. They'll all be happy, and it'll be very happy days. Also the Ox, with their steadfast devotion and their extreme hard-working nature, plus, you know, their real exclusive and you know, that private love, and that nice need for sort of a nice inner castle, and that inner well-being, you know, peace lovers as well. So wonderful matches for the Pisces Rooster. So if we look for the the Capricorn ox, the Taurian ox, the Cancerian ox, and the Scorpio ox. Wonderful matches. Okay, if we've got to look at obviously the ones to avoid, well, it's all rabbits. They don't tend to bump into each other, so it's not a problem. If they do, it's not going to last long. Go about things completely the different way, you know. The Rooster's quite forthright, even with the Pisces influence as they've gotten older. The rabbit tends to like to talk and mull things over. The Rooster likes to do, and to not always do the talking, but actions, the actions carrying them forward. So let's avoid each other, and it's healthier for both there, because, you know, the rabbit's got their own great qualities, and let's not waste them on the Rooster, and vice versa. If we look at health issues, well, the Pisces Rooster, because they can be prone to a little bit of daydreaming, can be very accident prone. So, you know, physically healthy, they're a sturdy, strong type, you know, very rarely going to the doctors, but they could be going to the hospital, the A&E departments, through accidents, which happens quite a bit. Not so much when they're young children, or you know, in the school years. It's more when they're in the work that they tend to do, have plenty of accidents at work, thinking of everything at once, especially if they're involved in the construction industry. There's going to be a few. So be prepared for a few, maybe broken fingers, a broken arm, etc., cuts, and, you know, there you go. But that's all part and parcel, and the Pisces Rooster will bounce back, and they won't be set back for too long whatsoever. They'll probably even laugh at it and have a chuckle and say, how stupid am I? You know, and that they do. They're good at that. They can, you know, they can have a chuckle at themselves, not taking themselves too seriously, which is really nice. And they do grow old very gracefully and with a smile on their face, and the grandchildren love to come to see them because they've got a chuckle, and they've always got a bit of pocket money, and they do really genuinely care deeply for everyone around them in the family circle. Okay, that's all that there is to say on this issue, and please tune in for the next one.